Listen up, XRP Army, because what I'm about to share isn't just another rumor. It's a warning. Before I start, I am not a financial advisor, nor is this financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes only. Elon Musk is literally signaling something major about XRP, and if you ignore this, you may regret it. In the next 20 minutes, I'll show you fresh intel, broken down technicals, Musk's possible playbook, what price levels everyone's watching, and where XRP could be heading, and how you can be ahead of the curve. Insider info you won't find elsewhere. Stick around or you'll miss the turning point. You might be asking, warning from Elon Musk? But what has he done this time that impacts XRP? Good, because that question is exactly what we unpack first. Recently, traders noticed something odd. XRP has been consolidating between two critical zones, roughly 278 to 310, with resistance sitting around 314. And simultaneously, the rumor mill lit up over possible Musk involvement. Just the mere possibility of Elon Musk even mentioning XRP is enough in this market to trigger massive waves. Here's why this matters. Musk has moved markets before. Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Tesla decisions. His voice carries weight. If he even hints XRP, people listen. And when traders believe, they dump in. That potential spark is what's got so many watching now. But this isn't just about hype. There are structural, technical, and regulatory pressures all aligning. So yes, there really is a warning in Musk's silence as much as in rumors. Now, what if I told you that this warning could mean XRP is about to break out or break down? That's right, what looks like consolidation could morph into a frenzy. But which direction depends on one key catalyst. We'll get there. Keep your ears open, because the next bit is where the suspense kicks in. First, let's map the technical ground. Think of XRP like a coiled spring. When a spring is compressed, tension builds until it either snaps open or slowly unwinds, but only when the force pushing back falls away. In XRP's case, the compression zones are those resistance and support levels. Resistance near 314, support zones around 260, 280 region. Volume is shrinking, volatility is low, but sentiment is quietly creeping up. That's the classic pre-move setup. If volume spikes, if space opens, the move will be sharp. Meanwhile, Musk rumors. There are several threads on X right now. One says Musk might accumulate XRP privately, another that he could integrate XRP into X money, part of his payments vision. Even if those are unverified, they already feed FOMO. People don't need proof, just potential, and that's dangerous and profitable. But here's the twist. Musk has denied similar rumors before, about massive XRP purchases. No credible evidence so far. Yet the whisper persists. That denial is part of the power. Silence plus denial equals mystery plus speculation equals eyes locked on XRP charts. That's the warning. Don't be blinded by hype alone. Watch what moves, what breaks. Pause, because here comes the first mini cliffhanger. What if I told you there's a hidden resistance zone above 314 that, if cleared, could send XRP straight into uncharted territory? Levels most retail traders won't even watch. But also, what if that resistance holds, those whales unload, and the price retraces toward 240 or lower? Which path happens depends on external triggers, Musk being one, institutional money another, and then regulation. Now let's layer in the regulatory and institutional side. Ripple's legal drama with the SEC is more resolved than in past years, giving institutions more confidence. That's real utility, cross-border payments, adoption, usage. These aren't empty promises, but institutional investors demand certainty. They want macro clarity, regulatory clarity, macroeconomic stability, interest rate trends, etc. If those line up, we could see fund flows into XRP skyrocketing, but if they don't, even big promises won't move the price much beyond speculative bumps. Here's where the Musk warning gets deeper. His potential influence doesn't just come from tweets. It comes from partnerships, product strategy, ecosystem integration. If Musk decides to position XRP inside X money, inside payments rails or in banking partnerships that elevates XRP from an asset people talk about to a utility people use. That plus technical breakout plus institutional flow equals explosive move. But that's what makes the warning. Because if you only own XRP hoping for a pump, not watching fundamentals, not watching key levels, you may be too late. Or you may get in at a bad point and take losses. Let's dissect the rumor pieces more concretely. There are whispers that Musk may actually be eyeing a stake in XRP. Combined with the build-up toward potential spot XRP ETFs waiting in the wings, people are suggesting that billions could flow in. Another angle is that XRP's consolidation range is reaching a point where a single mention or hint from Musk might trigger a breakout. If resistance breaks, price targets shift. But also important, until resistance is broken, price remains capped. So we have high risk, high potential. Another mini cliffhanger. Stick around because in a bit I'll tell you my exact price prediction for XRP over 30, 60 and 90 days. What I believe will happen. But first, I want to address the doubts because if you're doubting this surge like most are, you're not alone. I was there too. Let's face common myths. Myth number 1. Musk never officially said he supports XRP, so ignore all rumors. Yes, technically not confirmed. But in crypto, the expectation often drives markets more than confirmations. People buy rumors, hype sells later. If enough people believe Musk might do something, they act. That behavior is a catalyst, often the first leg of a move. Myth number 2. XRP has too large a supply, no way it goes 10x. True, supply is large, but supply alone doesn't kill exponential moves. Demand, utility, institutional involvement, speculation, regulatory approval, all multiply. A big supply can be outmatched if inflows are massive. Also tokenomics and how much is liquid matters. Whales holding, locked supply, etc. Myth number 3. Regulatory risk is too high. This could be crushed by the SEC or similar bodies. Possible, yes, but regulatory clarity is improving. Ripple has won rounds in their favor, courts are leaning in ways more friendly to XRP holders, and adoption continues globally. Also, regulatory risk is always present, even with Bitcoin or Ethereum. You can't eliminate risk, only manage it. So now, price target time. I believe that if XRP clears 314 resistance convincingly, with volume above average, and some confirmation from big wallets and institutional movement, it could test 450 to 550 in the next 30 days. In 60-90 days, if Musk does something more than a tweet, an integration, mention product drop, or if the ETF environment heats up and sees approvals, we could be looking at $8 to $12 range conservatively. Yes, that's bold, but justified if all pieces align. And if they don't, worst case, fail the resistance, retreat to 240 to 260 for retest and accumulation. That's still opportunity. Here's something I've been watching that many are missing. There are certain whales moving XRP quietly into cold storage. On-chain data shows accumulation under the hood. Also smart money activity in certain exchanges showing oversized buy orders just under resistance zones. That suggests those big players expect a breakout, but those same players often get nervous if resistance fails, sell pressure increases. That custody, that accumulation adds credibility. It's evidence, not just hype. Another mini cliffhanger. What if Musk's warning is really a signal not to buy more now, but to hold, prepare, and wait for the right entry? Because entering too early could cost you. Timing is everything. Now, addressing your pain, what many viewers tell me, Matthew, I am tired of buying after the breakout, getting in late, getting burned by resistance. How do I not make that mistake? Good question. Here's what I advise. First, don't chase. If price runs hard without volume, beware of false breakouts. Wait for confirmation, close above resistance, retest, hold support. Second, set risk levels. Decide how much you're willing to lose on a trade if it fails. Maybe use stop loss or partial exit. Third, track fundamentals. regulatory news, wallet accumulation, institutional filings, any Musk hint or product launch. That's your fuel. Without those, you're riding sentiment, and that can fluctuate. Fourth, diversify entry points. Don't put all in at one level. You can scale in. Buy some now at lower risk zones, more if confirmation comes. Now the climactic reveal. I believe the next major move for XRP will be triggered by one event. Either a public acknowledgement by Musk, or a major institutional fund stepping into XRP, or an ETF approval. When that happens, everything changes. The resistance at $3.14 falls. Suddenly, $5 becomes possible almost overnight. The move to $8 to $12 becomes realistic within weeks if volume surges and macro conditions don't turn hawkish. That's not wishful thinking, it's following the pattern. Breakout plus catalyst plus liquidity plus hype equals explosion. If that doesn't happen, we risk being stuck, maybe ranging between 260 320, maybe retracing, and then accumulation again. That's the warning I see in Musk's silence. He may be preparing something or easing in, but if you misread it, you could miss the entry before the real move. I want you to imagine this. 6 months from now, headlines saying XRP surges 300-500% after Musk's involvement or ETF approvals. You want to be able to tell people, I saw that coming. But to see it, you need to position now. Not all in, but smartly. Because once sentiment catches up, FOMO will blow the doors off. Liquidity pools, derivatives, retail, institutional, all chasing. That's your moment. Summing up, the wins are real, the risk is manageable. Key levels to watch: support at $2.60, $2.80, resistance at $3.14. If broken, then next targets $4.50, $5.50, then 8, 12 off, over 60, 90 days. The catalyst: Musk mention or integration, institutional money, ETF developments. Avoid chasing, wait for confirmations, manage risk, watch accumulation. If you do that, you set yourself up to capture the upside without getting caught off guard. This changes everything. Stick around to see why positioning now could make all the difference. Because this isn't just about the next pump. It's about whether XRP becomes a defining part of the next crypto cycle. And Musk's warning, whether silent or loud, is telling you, time to prepare. Time to sharpen your strategy. If this blew your mind, smash like, drop a comment on your XRP price target, subscribe for more alpha, and share with the community. Let's get XRP to the moon together.